What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, there's a chance we could be heading into a recession? The truth is, predicting economic recessions isn't just about crystal balls and gut feelings. It's about reading the warning signs that are flashing around us right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how economists and financial professionals predict recessions, the 5 key indicators you need to watch, and most importantly, what this means for your money, your job, and your future. Whether you're a seasoned investor or someone just trying to protect your family's financial security, understanding recession prediction could be the difference between thriving and merely surviving the next economic downturn. Let's start with the basics. A recession is defined as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy lasting more than a few months. We're talking about declining GDP, rising unemployment, falling incomes, and shrinking business profits. The effects ripple through every aspect of our lives, from job security to housing prices, from retirement savings to the cost of everyday goods. But here's what most people don't realize. Recessions don't just happen overnight. They build up over months or even years, leaving behind a trail of warning signs that trained economists can spot. The challenge is separating the real signals from the noise. Since World War II, recessions have occurred roughly every 6-8 years on average. The most recent major recession was the Great Recession, followed by the brief but sharp COVID-19 recession in 2020. Understanding recession prediction isn't just academic, it's practical knowledge that can help you make better financial decisions, protect your investments, and even identify opportunities during economic downturns. The question isn't whether another recession will happen, it's when, how severe it will be, and how prepared you'll be when it arrives. Here's the brutal truth about recession prediction. Even the world's top economists get it wrong. The complexities involved in forecasting economic downturns are staggering. We're dealing with millions of variables: consumer behavior, corporate decisions, government policies, international trade, technological disruptions, and unpredictable events like pandemics or geopolitical conflicts. Consider this: the inverted yield curve has predicted every recession since 1969, until recently. The yield curve inverted in 2022, yet here we are in 2025, and the recession many predicted still hasn't materialized in the traditional sense. This has led some experts to question whether our traditional recession indicators are still reliable in today's unique economic environment. The Federal Reserve, with all its resources and expertise, regularly adjusts its recession probability forecasts. The challenge for everyday investors and citizens is that we're making financial decisions based on forecasts that are inherently uncertain in an economy that's more complex and interconnected than ever before. The 5 key recession indicators. Let me walk you through the 5 most reliable recession prediction methods that professional economists use today. 1. The yield curve inversion. The yield curve is the relationship between short-term and long-term interest rates. Normally, longer-term bonds pay higher interest rates than shorter-term ones. This is called a normal yield curve. When this relationship flips and short-term rates exceed long-term rates, we get an inverted yield curve. When the yield curve inverts, historical data reveals that a recession typically follows within a year or two, with an average lead time of approximately 15 months. However, recent events have challenged this indicator's reliability. The 10-year Treasury yield passed below that of the 3-month note in Wednesday trading, signaling another inversion, yet economists remain divided on its predictive power in our current economic environment. 1. Unemployment data and the SARM rule. The SARM rule, developed by economist Claudia Sahm, states that a recession has begun when the 3-month moving average of the unemployment rate rises by 0.5 percentage points or more above its 12-month low. The indicator based on the SARM rule shows declining recession risk as of March, reflecting a resilient labor market. This indicator is particularly valuable because unemployment data is released monthly and is relatively reliable. When businesses start laying off workers, it's often one of the first visible signs of economic trouble. 1. GDP growth patterns. Gross domestic product growth is the most direct measure of economic health. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis announced the preliminary estimate of gross domestic product for the first quarter of 2025, which showed GDP declined 0.3%. While one quarter of negative growth doesn't automatically signal a recession, 2 consecutive quarters of decline is the traditional definition many economists use. At TAO's Leading Economic Indicators, LEI, the CEI's 4 component indicators, payroll, employment, personal income, less transfer payments, manufacturing and trade sales, and industrial production, are included among the data used to determine recessions. These indicators provide a comprehensive view of economic health by measuring different sectors simultaneously. 1. Consumer sentiment and spending patterns. Consumer spending drives about 70% of the US economy. When consumers lose confidence and reduce spending, businesses suffer, leading to layoffs and further economic contraction. Monitoring consumer sentiment surveys and retail sales data provides crucial insights into recession timing. Modern complications and new factors. Today's economy faces unique challenges that weren't present in previous decades. The primary economic risk factor in 2025 is tariffs, as trade policies can significantly impact economic growth. Additionally, we're dealing with post-pandemic economic adjustments, unprecedented levels of government debt, technological disruption across industries, climate change impacts on economic stability, geopolitical tensions affecting global trade. These factors make traditional recession indicators less reliable and require economists to develop new analytical frameworks. Here's the game-changing insight that's revolutionizing recession prediction. Economists are now focusing on composite models rather than relying on single indicators. Rather than a 30% chance of a recession in 2025, it projects a 12% chance when excluding problematic yield curve data. The breakthrough came from recognizing that our economy has fundamentally changed. The relationship between traditional indicators and actual recessions has weakened due to structural economic shifts, global interconnectedness, and unprecedented monetary policies following the 2008 financial crisis and COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of asking, will there be a recession, the smarter question is, what type of economic slowdown should we prepare for? We do see slower growth and higher inflation in 2025, but stagflation, in the sense of sustained very low growth, well above target inflation, and a sharp rise in unemployment still seems unlikely. This shift in perspective from binary recession prediction to nuanced economic scenario planning is helping investors and policymakers make better decisions in our complex economic environment. Recession prediction isn't about perfect forecasting. It's about understanding risk and preparing for multiple scenarios. The key indicators we've discussed, yield curves, unemployment data, GDP growth, leading economic indicators, and consumer sentiment work best when used together, not in isolation. While recession odds have now risen to 36% according to recent economist surveys, remember that preparation beats prediction every time. What recession indicators are you watching most closely? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts on where our economy is heading in 2025. If this video helped you understand recession prediction better, smash that like button and subscribe for more economic insights that actually matter for your financial future. And don't forget to check out my playlist on recession. Till next time.